Hi friends, today we're going to talk about two questions that get asked lots in my work with essential oils. So first question, real basic, is what are essential oils? Second, do they work? Okay, so we're going to start with the first one. So essential oils are the natural aromatic oils that are released by plants to protect themselves from predators. So for centuries, people have used them in health, wellness, and cosmetic. So they're called essential because they contain the essence of the plant fragrance, okay? And this, we're talking about the real fragrance of the plant, not the synthetic smell that a lot of us are used to when we buy our lotions. One of the things that always blew me away is that I love lavender lotion, but when I smelled lavender for the very first time, it was very different because for the first time, I was actually smelling lavender, not the synthetic lavender that I'm used to. So a lot of people who are new to essential oils sometimes are kind of blown away by the fact of the way that something actually smells versus what they've thought that it smelled like for so long, okay? So essential oils are obtained by the distillation of plant material. They also come from resin tapping, cold pressing, or absolute extraction. I'm not going to go into the science of that. That is a whole nother class. But if you are interested in knowing more about the distillation process, please drop a comment below, and that way I'll put on my list of things to put in the education. So oils, essential oils act as protectors against fungi, bacteria, insects, and other predators, but they also help attract pollinators, and they prevent other botanicals from growing in the specific plant's territory, okay? Essential oils contain thousands of volatile compounds that evaporate quickly into the air. Now, when I use the word volatile, the first time I read that, I was like, oh my God, are essential oils harmful? The word volatile to me just meant like it was going to explode, and that's not the way that it's used here. So volatile just means that it's easily evaporated at a normal temperature. And that's true. If you leave your essential oil uncapped, or if you don't cap it tightly enough, it will evaporate in the jar, and when you come back, it'll either all be gone or it'll be much less, okay? That's just naturally what they do, okay? That's naturally what the compounds in essential oils do, okay? Something else that I want to mention here in this video is that the quality of an essential oil largely depends on how it's obtained from the source, okay? This is why, one of the reasons why I choose Young Living, and I'll talk more about that in another video as well. So not all methods are created equal. Even the conditions of how a plant is grown is important, okay? The fertilizer, the soil, etc., the temperature, the altitude of where the plant grows, all this can affect the quality of the oil that's produced through distillation. So Gary Young, Young Living's founder, spent a lot of time researching this. He went around the world to different places where different plants are grown, and he talked with people who were distilling already. And through his research, he developed some of the best methods to ensure that the essential oils that were produced retained the chemical constituents that were going to be most helpful for our users, okay? So like I said, every essential oil has tons of these chemical constituents, and that's what we're looking for in our oils, okay? Those are the things that kind of help us determine what we're going to use an oil for, okay? Because certain chemical constituents can be helpful for certain things, all right? And we'll, again, talk more about that later, okay? So in addition, Young Living also performed several tests once an oil is distilled just to ensure that we have the best chemical profile for the oil, okay? And I'll come back to that because we're going to have a whole class on seed to seal, and all that is kind of covered in that, okay? So that essentially is what an essential oil is. Comes from the real plant. There's tons of oils. The other thing that's important to note is, yeah, we don't get an oil from every single plant. Not all plants are necessary, have beneficial things, right? And we also have to look at sustainability. So there are some plants that are just not available in certain parts of the country, or they're difficult to regrow. And so Young Living is never going to go tap a plant or a botanical that would be difficult to sustain, okay, over time, because we don't want to eradicate, certain plants on the earth, and we don't want to do that. And we also don't want to completely overuse a certain area or a farm, a certain plant or anything like that. So that's another thing I love about Young Living is that they pay attention to sustainability and to ensure that we can continue to have that oil, because of the farming that takes place, because we are protecting that plant and we are doing the right things to ensure that we have that oil for many years to come. And if it's not available, it's not available. We're not going to produce an oil that does not meet the chemical profile of what we're used to, okay, or what are the standards that Gary Young set for our essential oils at Young Living, okay? So the next question is a good one, right? Do essential oils work? I get this a lot from people who've never used essential oils and they're kind of on the fence or a little bit concerned about using essential oils. So the short answer to this question is yes. I just cannot see millions of people spending millions of dollars on essential oils that don't work. I just can't. I can't see people, buying these things all the time and just buying them for nothing because they don't work, okay? They do work. That's the short answer to that, okay? There's definitely tons of science to back that up, all right? But if you're asking yourself, but do they really work? I'm going to ask you to reframe that too. Am I willing to be open to the possibilities that essential oils can make a dramatic difference in my health and wellness, okay? I've seen some amazing things happen when people begin to use essential oils, and I have lots of friends that have tons of testimonies about their experience, okay? So if you have questions about any particular oil, please let me know. I'm happy to provide a reference or a person who has a testimony about what it can do. And I guess the real question here is, are you ready for what they can do for you? Right? So I want you to think about that. The power of plants is amazing. If you've ever used aloe vera on a sunburn, chamomile tea to relax, lemon zest in a drink or for baking, ginger if you've had an upset stomach, you've already harnessed the power of plants. That's undeniable. The very first medications came from plants. If we go back in history and look at how people dealt with illnesses, it goes usually back to some sort of healer, shaman, medicine man, curandera, who was using herbs, making teas, grinding twigs and things to help people heal, to help people get better from whatever ailments they had. So we know through time that the power of plants is incredible. Okay, and essential oils, what they have done is just concentrate that power in a little bottle and made that available for, easy use for its users. All right, so hopefully that answers your question about what essential oils are and do they work. If you have any questions, please put them in the comments and I'll come back and review. And just let me know, even if you don't have any questions, just let me know that you've been watching. I appreciate all viewers. And every once in a while, I'm going to come and check in the comments and pull out winners to get free prizes. So make sure that you let me know that you're watching. All right, hope you have a great day.